What's up? Honor 26. I'm here to give you my Dragon Gate USA Enter the Dragon 2010 pay-per-view review. Overall, this show was great. I did have some problems with it, but there was nothing too huge that I really couldn't fathom that dropped the score down a lot. But there were two great matches on this card, so that definitely boosted it up. I was actually at this event live, for those of you that remember. I am in the hard cam. I'm in the first row of general admission. If you look in the hard cam and you kind of over the top rope and kind of in the middle, you see Mario and Classic G1's head, and to your left is me. To my left is Next Big Thing, Brian's friend Brandon. Then it's Brian. Then Insta Classic 8 Brandon, or something like that. But I'm to Mario's left. I remember that. And so that's cool. I'm wearing my Texas Rangers hat, and actually I'm wearing this shirt there, Texas Rangers. But anyway, overall this show was great. Let's get right down to it. Open the show with CIMA coming out, doing his broken English thing, which is alright. But, the crowd's fine with it. And, it actually does. He's probably the best one at speaking English on the Dragon Gate roster that is Japanese. So there's that. Johnny Gargano came out and challenged him because he wants to be in a bigger role in Dragon Gate USA, which I'm fine with. They went out and put on a good match. Both these guys are better than this, so if maybe they hadn't had another match, it'd be better. Because I think Gargano can put on great matches, and CIMA definitely can put on great matches. But for whatever reason, they just didn't seem to mesh here all that well. But I did like how they made Gargano look. They made him look strong against CIMA. It took a lot for CIMA to beat him. So, for a guy like Gargano against a guy like CIMA, I definitely did like how they made him look. And besides that, it was a good match as well. Maybe almost reaching that very good level. So I'm going to say 3.5 there. Then we got the greatest spot fest of all time. I'm trying to remember one that's better, but I really can't. Especially one that I've seen live. They're just definitely not better. But it was a sight. It was a sight to see, and that's saying a lot for a spot fest. Adam Cole versus Eric Cannon versus Chuck Taylor versus Ricochet. Wow, this was just. There was literally no wrestling moves. There was, I think, 2 or 3 wrestling moves in the entire match, and they got 17 minutes. So, that's good. Well, not really that's good for the match, but that's good for this type of match. And all those moves kind of took place, in the first couple minutes. So, there's that. Ricochet did some crazy things where he defied gravity. Crazy, crazy things in this match. Including where he almost killed himself. But it looked a lot less brutal on pay-per-view than it did live. It looked like he landed on his neck live, but he landed kind of on his side here, or kind of on his shoulder. Chuck Taylor was just as impressive. Eric Cannon got a lot of his stuff in, and Adam Cole definitely looked good. So just everybody all together as a package. That was just a great match. Lots of mark-out moments. I don't want to ruin any of the spots. This just put everything together. Perfect spot fest. 4 stars. Great match. Then we get to a match that was the worst match of the night. Well, the worst match that got time and was featured. Drake Younger versus Naruki Doi. I like both of these guys, especially Doi. I like Younger too, but I don't like him as much as I like Doi. But I just don't know why these two just didn't have a good match together. Younger couldn't run with Doi, and Doi just looked off for whatever reason. I don't know why he's wrestling with a t-shirt. He doesn't do that in Dragon Gate Japan, so I don't know why he was doing it here. And he did it the next night, Chikara Source Rex too, but he didn't seem to have the same effect against the Chikara team. So, but for whatever reason, these two just couldn't put on a good match together, and it kind of fell short. Just 2 1/4. It was nothing more than that. It was a little better live too, to be honest. I thought it was around the 3-star level live, but on pay-per-view, this was just very disappointing. Honestly, it wasn't hard to sit through. It didn't get all that much time, but it was still, just there, and it was. I wish that maybe they'd selected a different opponent from Naruki Doi. Maybe put Younger and Gargano together and make it CIMA versus Doi or something like that. That would probably would have been better. Then we get to they were featuring they featured the seminar and tryout where they give wrestlers from the tryout spots on the pay-per-view. So the two best wrestlers they give the pay-per-view to. Scott Reed was one of them, who's just a worker in the Northeast. I had heard of him, but I had never seen him wrestle, even live, so this was good to see. And coming to the ring by Nicole Matthews, who is a Shimmer Tag Champion. And it was pretty... on pay-per-view, I would have recognized her immediately, even though they just announced her as Nicole. But live, I didn't know it was her at first, but then I was very glad to find out when I did that that's actually Nicole Matthews, who I actually liked her style in Shimmer, so that's very cool to see. Versus Rich Swann. I've seen him a couple times before, but not live before this. This was short and sweet to the point. Doesn't really get a rating. It only went like 3 minutes, but it was Rich Swann is a very impressive finisher, so I like that. Then Brody Lee came out and killed everyone. He was impressive, and then he said he's coming for a Japanese talent next time, so definitely I like Brody Lee. I wonder who's going to go after, because I think he'd be a perfect fit for Kamikaze USA. But unless I turn him face and he goes after Shingo, which I think Brody Lee and Shingo would be great. If they being unfair to turn him face, I think he'd probably be better for Warriors than World 1. World 1's more of a fast-paced stable, and they kind of need someone like that more than they kind of don't need someone like that more than they need would need someone like that, if you get what I'm saying. So, all right, next we get. By the way, Brody Lee did get into it with a fan. That came off a lot better live than it did on pay-per-view. Because right after Brody Lee walked away, it probably came off a lot better live because they didn't show what happened afterwards. Which is the fan got up on his chair and started posing. So that was interesting. And then he got a lot of heel heat. He was the best heel of the night. Anyway, actually, Shingo's probably the best heel of the night, no doubt. Actually, so. Anyway, then we got to the match that should have main evented this pay-per-view and was the main event of the taping. I don't know why they switched it on the card, because I'll get to that in a minute, but anyway. It was the Kamikaze USA team of Yamato, Gran Akuma, Akira Tozawa, and Jon Moxley versus the Chikara Sekigun team of Mike Quackenbush, Jigsaw, and Hello Wicked, teaming with the Open the Dreamgate champion Masato Yoshino. I love elimination matches like this. I've always have. It was kind of like a lucha Japanese match, like lucha res, if you know what that style is. Just great, awesome match. Just just the eliminations kind of came quickly once they did start to happen. But just they had built this match up. This is one of the only storyline they were pretty much having in Dragon Gate USA, and this was a great way to end it. I don't know why Moxley and Yoshino were kind of in this match. You have nothing to do with the feud up until this match, but you gotta have. Yoshino has no match for the pay-per-view, so I put him in there with these guys who we can have great matches with, and I have no problem with that. Moxley, he's kind of the mouthpiece for Kamikaze USA, so you gotta have him in here. So I don't really have no problem with that. Just 4 1/4, great match. Not enough to make my match of the year countdown at all, but just a great match. And perfectly sets up. If you get the DVD, it perfectly sets up what's going to happen at Untouchable with Doi and Yoshino versus Quack and Jigsaw with the after match promos. But anyway, then we get to the main event of the night, or the main event of the pay-per-view. BB Hulk versus Masaki Mochizuki for the Open the Freedom Gate title. I probably have this a lot lower than some people. Live, this was a great match, even with the ending. But on pay-per-view, this was highly edited. And being there live, and probably only because I was there live, I noticed it, and it just completely ruined the match for me. The ending was highly edited. It was a great in-ring match, but it should have ended right after BB Hulk hit the EVO from the top rope. That made BB Hulk look weak. He got his finisher off the top or off the second rope, and Masaki Mochizuki just kicked out at 2. Just not even like the thing where you think he's going to get to 3 and he does like 2 3/4, right at 2. I'm like, what the hell? And then BB Hulk just does like a Phoenix Splash, which he like botched a little, and then does like a super kick, and that's the end of the match. I'm just like, what? I remember that being a lot worse live than it looked because it was highly edited. So, and it wasn't all that amazing anyway, so I have no problem dropping it all the way down to 3 1/4. And by the way, this is why I want BB Hulk to lose the belt, because these title defenses are getting very repetitive anyway. This would have been the best one if it wasn't for the highly edited ending. ending, but they're still getting very, very repetitive, these matches. The one with Dragon Kid, Yoshino, Doi, and now this all kind of seem like the same match to me. So I hopefully he loses the belt soon. They need to get this off BB Hulk, and he doesn't have a title defense in either Chicago or Milwaukee. So hopefully he loses it in either the Boston area or Rahway to end the year. That'd be what I want to happen. But overall, this is still a great show. Two great matches on it, and I mean, unless you were there live, you probably wouldn't notice what happened in the main event. So that might be a third great match for you, and the opener is very good. So 8.0, very, very good. Let's bump this up to an 8.25. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bump this up to an 8.25. Actually, let me fix that right now. But if you have any doubts about buying this, because when this DVD comes out, you get Danielson and Shingo, which is the extra match. Probably plus a loaded bonus disc, which I cannot complain. Dragon Gate USA does a great job with. Their DVD design is great. But you get Danielson and Shingo, which live was off the charts. It was, if you imagine how great of a wrestler Shingo is, he's one of the best in the world right now. And then Bryan Danielson, who they call the best in the world, put those two together. That's all you need to know. Live, I hate to give star ratings live, so I'm not going to give them. But all I'm going to say is, I'd be very, very, very surprised if this match isn't at least 4.5 when it comes out on DVD, if not higher. And I expect it to be higher. Live, it was just, I had never seen such a great match. That's my favorite match seeing all time live. And that's not saying a whole bunch, but there are some damn good matches that I have seen live. But then this tops them all by far. So, you definitely need to check out this DVD when it comes out. Overall, great pay-per-view. You can find it somehow. Please do. I'll see you guys later.